Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HOGARTH'S Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. All right, so it is Thursday fry up. It is that time of the week, and as you know, a busy week for me. Always a busy day. So I was busy with clients. Oh, let me just give a quick little shout out. So I want to give a quick shout out to Rosa. You know who you are. Julie, you know who you are, and Carolyn as well. Who's a new client of mine as well. So much appreciated, and thanks so much for booking and all of that kind of stuff. Love reading people's charts and helping people and stuff like that. And before I start the show, oh my goodness, the drama never ends, does it? Gosh, it's just one thing after the other. So one of the first things I want to say is obviously, commiserations, of course, to the people suffering in the Los Angeles fire. I heard a bit about, I mean, I was so busy today, and as you know, on Thursdays, I get very little chance to actually look at the news. I have my breakfast. Ideally, I go for a long walk or get some exercise or something like that. And then in the early afternoon, I start with my clients, and then I'm all the way through all day, just grabbing food quickly where I can. And then I've got a little bit of a respite, and then I do my Thursday shows. So Thursdays are almost always a kind of a complete write-off for me. But I was hearing about the fires and stuff, and then I saw some of the footage. Oh, wow. There was this guy, I was watching this Channel 4 clip, and he was in the house with his dog, and it says two men escape, their home. I forget, it's quite a famous area, isn't it, where a lot of actors live, apparently. The name of it, forgive me, has just gone out of my head. And you could see the footage, and the flames were like outside the window, and they're like, okay, now it's time to go. And it's like, wow. They left it that they could have died. So extraordinary. So and as you know, Duck L'Orange has not had any helpful language at all, and has been very kind of scathing, and I'm just using it as a political opportunity rather than trying to bring the country together. But I mean, what can we expect at this stage? So dreadful, and they can't do anything, so it looks like the whole lot's going to burn down. I saw on one station they show this whole area. It must have been at least 500 houses or so. It was like an ashtray, flat, just astonishing. And we know that there's been tremendous issues, of course, with global warming, not enough water, etc. But this is unusual, apparently, to happen in January. I've never heard of like fires like this happening in January in that neck of the woods. So yeah, very tragic. I understand today, was it today, folks? Today, actually, it's currently the 9th of January 2025, and it's just past 11 p.m. UK time here. Jimmy Carter's funeral, I think it was today. I was seeing some footage and stuff like that. And of course, a much admired and respected president who lived to 100 years old. Wow. I don't know a tremendous amount about him, but I understand that many people admired him, particularly after his presidency. And there's been many positive things said about him and about how humble he is. But what I will also say as well is there is some symbolism, isn't there? When a very old person goes, someone who was a head of state, I think it was very true as well for Queen Elizabeth II, as you guys know, when she passed away. Was she 94? I think it was. I think it was 94. And Prince Philip was 99, almost 100, like Jimmy Carter. There is something for me that is very symbolic when an old head of state goes. It's almost like the era that they represented, or the values that they represented in that era, in their younger years and maturing years, is like something has passed. And for me, it's just this. I just find the timing quite uncanny. Yeah, quite uncanny. I'm sure many of you would agree. So what I want to do is President Carter, you know, yes, people were saying that the post offices were closed. Oh, let's see if my computer's going to oblige by clicking up the, oh, whatever. Jesus. What's happened now? No, it's, oh, Jesus. Now it's just frozen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, I don't know why I bother clicking on anything. What is it? Whenever I start the show, it's just an issue. It's been working fine all day. I don't know. I think it's my energy, to be honest. And I have to go back to the old camera because the old autofocus one was just being an absolute pain in the you know what. Yeah, someone's saying the Santa Ana winds. 96 years old of age. That was Queen Elizabeth II. Thank you, Helen, for correcting me there. Veronica saying the Santa Ana winds are unbelievable. And then, yes, Helen Murray saying 96 years of age, Queen Elizabeth II. Yeah, absolutely. And as you guys know, I don't mind a correction at all, as long as it's polite and fair. I really don't mind. It's an opportunity to learn. Right, let's dive in with the show, and let's start because I want to make sure that I get everything in. Gosh, over 200 of you here already. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you as well to the new subscribers as well on HOGARTH'S Financial Astrology. I've just did a video which is called What is Blockchain? Yeah, what is blockchain? I think it's proving quite popular already. I'll try and have it in the video description, but at the end credits, I never use the right word. For some reason, I can never remember what they're called. But at the end credits, I'll after this video is uploaded, I'll put that video there so you guys can have a look. And I think it's a very important thing to know. It really just breaks it down in very easy to understand language. The feedback's been great so far because this is also an important thing to know. And there's something about the funeral of Carter, this ending of an epoch, ending of an age. You know, he lived for 100 years. Wow. And then he's now gone, and his funeral has been today. And it's almost like with these fires and just everything, it's like another age is emerging. Yeah, it's almost the phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes, things burning down, things transforming. As you know, I've been talking about a lot as well with the Great Awakening. You heard me guys say, which is coming up, that planet of 8, well, 7 planets technically, but I also count Chiron, which would make 8th, which is Saturn, Mercury retrograde, Neptune, Venus retrograde. Then it's Sun, Moon, causing an eclipse. Oh, Rahu. Yes, yeah. So Rahu's in there as well, and Chiron. Should be 8. Yeah, once you count all of those in. So this also means it's ushering in a new energy. A new energy. And do you remember I said this is happening in the 4th house in the United States charts? Remember I said it deals with homeland and real estate. Yeah, homeland, real estate. I said there's going to be stuff to do with the homeland of America, real estate, also as well families, all of that kind of stuff. We'll have to see what happens with the policies, with, you know, the tariffs and all of this kind of stuff. But yes, and I said there will be elements as well where there could be something happening with the homeland, you know, of America. And look, we've got these horrible fires, which of course cleared out hundreds of real estate so far, and it could be even more. So it's like, oh yeah, and this Pluto, yeah, this Pluto in Capricorn energy. So hold on everyone, but there's also opportunities as well in this new world that is emerging. So it's mixed, very mixed. All right, questions in, as you can see. We're actually going to go to Armenia at first. Armenia, because, you know, I like to keep it international here. So Armenia, this is from Nick Minks. So Armenia, and then we've got, what else do we have? North Carolina elections. something on ETs, you know, extraterrestrials, Los Angeles fire, Trump and Greenland. Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, so Nick Winks. Armenia has taken a step towards the European Union membership, as its government approved a draft law on initiating the accession process. Will they join, or will there be interference by pro-Russian instigators to prevent this? Oh, so Armenia wants to join the EU. Let me just find my tarot cards. There we go. Oh, what tumultuous times. What tumultuous times. For everyone, EU, NATO, America, you know, we can see all the tensions, of course, in Europe with, you know, Muskie getting in there with his megalomania. All right, Armenia, and then we'll move on to the next questions. Armenia, will they get in, or will they be thwarted? If we see the Seven of Swords, yeah, which is a classic one, isn't it, for shenanigans and all sorts of doodahs going on. If we see the Empress, yeah, now the Empress can be a very generous card, but you know that's my symbolism for Russia, especially in this context. But if the cards are benign, then maybe they'll be able to make it. But will the other EU countries accept Armenia? Yeah, that's also the question as well. Will they accept Armenia? All right, EU, Armenia. Will they get accepted? Ah. Wow. Very, very interesting. All right. If we look here, we get the Emperor come up. Yeah, we get the Emperor card come up. So, of course, this can talk about male patriarchy, etc., strictness, passion, energy, and a warlike kind of character. Let's not forget this is the old warlike general. I cannot help but think that this has probably got quite a lot to do with Putin, don't you reckon? Yeah. But this could also be talking about a deeper culture in Armenia, which may be potentially very kind of patriarchal in nature. But this is about imposing the rules. The positive of this can be the divine masculine in terms of bringing order, yeah, order to chaos in that sense. But because we're talking about elections, I mean, this what this says to me is that by joining the EU, of course, Armenia seeks to make itself stronger. Yeah, seeks to make itself stronger, more stable, maybe have more of a voice on the global stage. Yeah, with this kind of combination here. But this could also show authoritarian, potentially authoritarian influence as well. My instinct is that this is, you know, old Putinshka. Now, if we look here in the obstacle position, we actually get the Knight of Swords, yeah, running forwards. I always say this is the fastest card in the deck. However, technically it's in the obstacle position, so it's reversed. Now, you could actually take a very simple interpretation of saying that this is the opposite of speed, yeah, because the question was if they would join the EU, yeah. So, but this is also a card of aggression, yeah, aggression. You can see here he's tilted forward, the who's are all off the ground and really launching at speed. So this could talk about aggression, this could talk about interference, because it's turning up in the obstacle position. This, what this also says to me is it could be aggressive acts or actors that try and interfere to maybe potentially prevent this from happening. Yeah, prevent this kind of stability, or it is someone authoritarian that uses their forces, yeah, to intercede. Yeah, that's how I'm interpreting that. However, Armenia are working hard diligently, yeah, diligently working hard, probably working on certain elements of the country to make sure that they are compliant, etc. This is the card of not only hard work, but studiousness, paying attention to details. You can see the diligent and hard work that the student is carrying out in order to reach his goal. Yeah. If we look here, we have the star card, yeah, and you'll excuse, I had to put a little bikini top because obviously the nippleage and stuff like that, the algorithm doesn't like it, so you know I've had to delicately illustrate something. I forgot I did it actually, but the star card talks about renewal. It talks about the universe having your back, yeah. It talks about the renewal that comes after those tower moments, yeah, because if I remember correctly, this card, I think it comes after the tower. Sometimes I forget, but so that's quite positive. And of course, if we also remember as well, the EU flag is what, on a blue background with yellow stars, yeah. So I think this is actually representing the EU. However, so look, you can see them working hard diligently, yeah, to try and be part of the EU, facing potential blocks from authoritarian influences. But the outcome card for them, if we look here, oh God, is my camera frozen? What on earth is going on? Oh, I don't know why this is happening now. It's been absolutely fine all day. Anyway, look, they get the 5 of Pentacles as their outcome card. So that is a little bit worrying. This is the card of what? Feeling left out in the cold. This is the card of poverty, dereliction, even poor health. So could it be that they work hard to apply, but there may be pressure, yeah, put on other authorities? Or it could be, is it the case that the EU, represented by the star card, says they may not reach the financial threshold required to join because there are certain rules and regulations and stuff like that? So, look, I think they're going to give it a good go, but I would say their accession to the EU is not guaranteed. There are some obstacles to overcome. So I'd say it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one for Armenia. Yeah, they might not be considered potentially wealthy enough. I'm not sure what natural resources they have. I'm sure they've got some, you know, but of course I just read the cards. But thanks so much for the question. All right, let's move. Here we are. Let's talk about ETs. Oh, what's going on with my pen here? Sorry, I don't like things weighing down on my pens. All right, so that's Armenia. Let's look at ETs. I'll take a quick scroll down as well to see who else is here. Maybe it's just because there's a lot of you on the, who knows. So Santa Ana wins. What's it? Surprise. Oh, red letter in a bra. I'm not sure what that means there. Seeing President. Oh, okay, someone said, let me just click on here. This is giving a bit of feedback on Carter. So Mona says, seeing President Joe Biden at Jimmy Carter's funeral was awesome. The speech he gave was so on point and direct. Right to Duck L'Orange, was it? Ooh. And then Deborah is saying Carter was a very good and kind Southern gentleman. Yeah, like they said when he was growing up as a kid, he said, apparently he said that one of the most radical things that happened to him in his life was when his house got electricity. Yeah. And it didn't have running water or something. He washed in the bucket or something like that. So it seems like he was a very humble person. And then Lynette is saying the U.S. federal government had a day of mourning, mourning today. So anything run by the federal government outside of emergency services was closed. Yes, Rosa was telling me that today as well when we were having our consultation. And then April is saying, yes, I can hear you. Many readers and psychic have a lot of electrical issues. It's the energy. It's true. It's true. I'm convinced, and particularly as well, I need to, you know, calm my energy down, because it does affect my stuff, irrespective if it's new or old equipment. It doesn't seem to matter. Let's just see here. Yes, and PT Rocks is saying, please pray for rain for Southern California. Anyone know of a good rain chance here? Mount Wilson Observatory is in danger of high winds blowing embers up the mountains. Thanks in advance for your prayers. Wow. I mean, it really is just something. It looks apocalyptic. I mean, these words, as we know, are overused, but genuinely the case. All right, let's take Cheryl's question. So Cheryl Renee says, I'm assuming that when the ETs reveal themselves, mankind will ask them about religion, and the ETs will answer truthfully. Question: is the demise of man-made religion on the horizon? Just taking a break from politics and moving on to the other verboten topic, she says. Well, what I can say to you is that from an astrological perspective, yes, we are moving out of the age of Pisces, which of course is also talking about dualism. Yeah, it's the dualistic. Yeah, Pisces is dualistic, black and white, yin and yang, etc. And we're moving, of course, into the age of Aquarius. Now, in Western tropical astrology, they say we're already there, but we're not there quite yet. I would say it is the dawning of Aquarius, the dawning, yeah, because we're starting to see the move now. Like by the time we hit the age of Aquarius, we're going to be at that quantum level. Yeah, I mean that really will be the intergalactic age, where we're going to be full in, you know, well into, like, truly into that energy. We're now seeing the beginning of it. Yeah, we've just seen like AI has started to become prominent really at the back end of 2023, right on to, well, actually in 2023, right when I said when Saturn moved into sidereal Aquarius. You would remember this was my predictions from November 2022. Yeah, and I said in January 2023 that we will be talking about AI, all things, governments, rules, regulations, everything would change. And then sure enough, on the, the 15th of January 2023, Saturn moved into sidereal Aquarius. And a few days later, do you remember we had Chinese spy balloon, all of that kind of stuff? Mexico was talking about the alien mummies that they found, scanning them, made presentations to Congress. We had the ChatGPT, all of that stuff kicked off then. So these are age of Aquarius energies that are starting to manifest as the dawning of Aquarius gets stronger. By the time that age officially comes, which is a little while from now, we will be an intergalactic species by that point. Yeah, this is all starting to build up. Blockchain, all of this stuff. This is why I'm making these videos to explain like how everything's changing. All right, so aliens, the ETs. Also as well, what I want to say in terms of ETs, look, we call them ETs, but do you know there's ETs that have been living here for thousands of years? We shouldn't even call them that. A lot of them live at the bottom of the sea and blah, blah, blah. They're terrestrials as well. We'll just have to call them something else. But I believe that for the longest time. I mean, they've shown the footage anyway. That's one of the things that came out in 2023. All the airline pilots or the fighter pilots showed the videos of the unidentified flying objects, whatever, going into the ocean. But such was the dramas with Duck L'Orange. I mean, it was barely covered, so I don't doubt it for a minute. All right, the ETs, organized religion. So yes, organized religion itself is breaking down because the age of Pisces is coming to an end. Yeah, the Piscean age was, of course, about Christianity, also Islam, and also to an extent as well Judaism, but which predates them all. Judaism, we need to remember, is the eldest by far. Christianity, obviously 2,000 years old. Islam, 1,000 years old and loose change. And Judaism is like plus 3,000 years old. So that was actually belonged to the previous age. That would have been born in the age of Aries, yeah, because this was also to do with the demise of the Roman Empire, etc., and all of this stuff. But anyway, too long to explain. ETs. What's going on with organized religion? Let me just see the question again. When ETs reveal themselves, mankind will ask them about religion, and the ETs will answer truthfully. Question: is the demise of man-made religion on the horizon? Well, I've already given an answer there, isn't it? But let's see what the cards say. And they say, apart from the super churches, but attendance at churches, synagogues and mosques are all going down around the world gradually. You wouldn't believe the card that I've got. Such a kind of religious card in a way. This is interesting. All right. If we look here, yeah, the question is about religion. Look what we get. We get the judgment. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, isn't it? Get the judgment card, which is talking about the end times, yeah, the end judgment in a way. And you can see everyone here rising up, yeah, to be judged, which is, you know, which is supposed to be known as, you know, the end times, etc., and all of this kind of stuff. But here, the most important here is the bugle call, yeah, from the archangel. So in many ways, this is a wake-up call for what we would understand to be organized religion, which of course has a place. I'm very spiritual. When I grew up at primary school, I went to a Church of England school, like most people did, etc., and stuff like that. And I don't want anyone to think that in any way I'm depreciating the positives of what religion stands for in terms of tradition, sense of community, shared identity, values, etc., and stuff like that. But this is the question about organized religion as a whole, and those that are paying attention to these things. Yes, globally, attendance is going down because the people themselves, humanity is changing, and this is the wake-up call, as it were. But look, if we look here in the obstacle position, we do have the Two of Swords. So it shows that people are still in two minds. We need to remember these religions have been around for a long time, yeah? Particularly like when we think of the three Abrahamic religions, yeah? I believe paganism should have its place. I'm not sure. I don't mean all the ritual sacrifice and stuff, but the reverence and love of nature that was available, that was understood in those in the pagan times, I think is something that we as humanity need to put Gaia front and center. That's certainly my plan, particularly as well in the future, if I'm fortunate enough to be able to invest and stuff like that. That's what I want to do, Gaia-based projects, and I'm going to be talking more about that as well on my other channel. So here we can see, look, the blindfold is on and they're not sure what decision to make. This can also be about avoiding truths and avoiding a reality that one doesn't want to see. So again, in terms of like the organized religion, they're not maybe wanting to fully face the, you know, the true realities. Yeah. Now the middle card is very interesting. Here we have the Queen of Wands. Now, as you know, I associate this card with entrepreneurship, all of the Wands suite. But here with the Queen of Wands, this is about bringing people together. Yeah, bringing people together, having discourse, dialogue, discussion. Yeah, she's a wonderful hostess, and in many ways she facilitates so many things. But let's not forget the black cat. What this cat actually represents is this particular character's intuition, spiritual gifts and intuition. And what this says to me, and what we've seen in particular, a lot of people are actually going within in terms of their spiritual practice, not religious practice per se, but spiritual practice, particularly women. Yeah. And if we see as well in of late the proliferation of spiritual channels, people reading tarot, people talking about angels, ETs, near-death experiences, yeah, where they cross over to the other side and they come back. We see that this is very much at the vanguard, isn't it? Particularly in the last few years, and particularly since lockdown. Yeah. However, so if we look here, how does organized religion feel about this? Well, yeah, they're worried about it. They're worried about it. But this can also represent the people that are also worried that religion is losing its grip. Yeah. Because now we're seeing the pushback, isn't it? We're seeing kind of like religion being blended with elements of even fascism, you know, we can say, and stuff like that. So the reaction to a lot of this is to try and come forward with a new message. Yeah, here we've got the Knight of Cups, which can sometimes also be the false knight as well, or the false message. So I think when we're seeing particularly things on the more kind of evangelical right, I would say that that is a reaction to the spiritualization that's happening with people. And, you know, sometimes you've seen on my channel, we get these, you know, these trolls that come in and say, ah, you're the devil, you're this, you're that. Yeah, but because they are threatened. They're threatened by the inner divinity. But just remember as well what was written on the Dead Sea Scrolls, where it said the kingdom of God is within you. Yeah, and all of this stuff was written out. So yes, these religions are breaking down. They're aware of it, and they're going to try and reformulate their message. So this could also be super churches and stuff like that. But the turning of an age is the turning of an age. And we cannot get the stars to go in another direction. Yeah, everything, even though they go backwards, it precesses. Yeah. So the age of Aquarius is each year is getting stronger and stronger. The dawning is getting brighter and brighter. So yes, people are moving away from dogma. Let's put it that way. All right, let's look at North Carolina. Yeah, let's have a quick slurp. How am I doing on time? Okay, let me hurry up. Someone's saying here, isn't Armenia a communist country? April Adams. You know, I'm not sure. Wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I couldn't give you a more clear answer on that. I would be surprised if they're accepted into the EU, to be honest. Just on a gut reaction, I'd be quite surprised at that. Armenia is quite different. Nothing against Armenia, but I'm just saying I'd be quite surprised, particularly with those cards that I got. Oh, what's this here? Got my Deborah Gilbert. Hello, Hogarth. I hope you got my inquiry on the community page. So please help me to solve this. And thank you. Oh, what's your inquiry? A query. I don't know what it is. Oh, how interesting. Old Silver says, EU just made a deal with Romania to replace the Russian gas. Interessante. Oh, Angela's saying, please ask about Georgia Meloni and Muskie affair. What, are you saying that they had an affair? It's always best to leave questions in the community, because I have to have, when it's live, it's very, very hard to keep track. And that's why I print this out, study it, number the questions and stuff like that. That's really best, because then it can be quite hard to interpret. When you say, are you saying that they've had an affair, or is that alleged? Better to put the where I can actually see it and print it out and cogitate on it and stuff like that. All right, so let's look at North Carolina. The North Carolina Supreme Court issued an order blocking North Carolina from certifying the winner, the Democrat Allison Riggs, for a seat on the High Court. Wow. After 2 recounts, Riggs won the seat from the Republican Jefferson Griffin, by 734 votes. Griffin is trying to have 60,000 votes thrown out as invalid. Will Republicans be successful in overthrowing the will of the people? Wow, God. Oh my God, the GOP. So according to Denise, that question came in from Denise Ferguson. She's saying that there were 2 recounts, and that that she won by 734 votes. I mean, which is tiny, but Griffin is saying to have all 60,000 votes thrown out. Oh God, what a load of rubbish. Let's just see. Will the Republicans be successful in overturning the will of the people? Oh, Pluto in Capricorn, people. As you've heard me say ad nauseum, but really, this is what these energies are about. Pluto is about power. Capricorn is about government. Capricorn is also about big business, big companies. Pluto also deals with oligarchy. Yeah, it's where we get the word plutocracy from. So imagine when you've got Pluto in Capricorn, we're getting these scenarios now where people trying to use their money and influence to gain power. Elon Musk, all of these, the corruption, the Supreme Court. Oh God, it's never ending. All right. Will they succeed in trying to overthrow the will of the people? 60,000 votes thrown out. Oh my God. I just don't know these days. You know, again, for entertainment purposes only. We've got to remember to say that from time to time, haven't we? But the Supreme Court. Yeah. Ooh, okay. The tricky cards, yeah. So if we look here, okay, so I'll read again. North Carolina Supreme Court issued an order blocking North Carolina from. So remember, the North Carolina Supreme Court issued an order blocking North Carolina State, I imagine, from certifying the winner, Allison Riggs, for a seat on the High Court. Yeah, so the Supreme Court is preventing her reaching some High Court. After 2 recounts, Riggs won the seat from Jefferson Griffin by 734 votes. Griffin is trying to have the 60,000 votes thrown out as invalid. Will Republicans be successful in overthrowing the will of the people? Well, when we look at the cards here, look at this. We have the Magician. Yeah, now we know when this card turns up for people in personal readings, I feel happy for them because it means their ambitions are likely to succeed. Yeah, but when we're turning up in political readings, this means that there is a person or persons using every single tool they have in the book to try and impose their will. Yeah, do you remember when I did readings on Elon Musk? He was getting the Magician as well. And why they say every tool in the book? Because you see here, he has everything at his disposal. There's a sword here. There is a cup. There's a pentacle, if I remember correctly. Yes, there is a pentacle there. We see the flowers, fertility, fecundity. But look, the most important thing is the pose. He has a hand gesturing up and the other one gesturing down. Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, anyway, I can't do it. The camera's backwards, which means sort of like effectively as above, so below, which is the beginning part of the Hermetic statement by Hermes Trismegistus, yeah, which of course, who was a magician. So this says to me that the powers that be are trying their best to thwart, yeah, or influence the outcome. If we look here in the obstacle position, I mean, this card's pretty self-explanatory. Look, yeah, 10 of Swords, which is about what? A backstab and a betrayal, yeah? Because clearly this North Carolina Supreme Court is trying to throw out the Democrats' votes, yeah, even though she won by 734, according to Denise, yeah? We see here betrayal. If we look here in the middle card, we get the Five of Pentacles back. So again, this is trying to what? Disenfranchise. This is about not being allowed in, being out in the cold. They're blocking her. Yeah, this could really talk about Allison Riggs. Yeah, they're trying to kind of rig it against Allison Riggs. Yeah, by the looks of it, especially by the cards. Yeah, if we look here, we've got the Knight of Wands, yeah, which of course is another fast deck, but here this is a card of passion, of action. But it can also talk about a rambunctious energy, an unruly energy, and someone that comes in and messes things up a bit. I think this is to do with Jefferson Griffin, yeah, quite literally rearing up, yeah, rearing up, sticking his stuff in. What do I mean? Like, you know, meddling. And particularly here, if we look, we get the Devil card, yeah, which is what? Corruption, the card of corruption, being chained to someone or something. So I think this is to do with that particular Supreme Court. This is also to do with the Republican attached to his post, his position, not willing to accept that he's lost, yeah. But also as well, I think this is just the general kind of vibe of so much of what is going on in politics right now, particularly with this Pluto in Capricorn energy, yeah? This kind of power and corruption, people attached, greed, yeah? This is also that as well, greed, corruption. So I'm going to say it seems like even though technically she's won on paper, particularly in light of Duck L'Orange, they might actually succeed in overthrowing the will of the people there on that one. Sorry. Yeah, but as you know, I just have to read the cards. You could see the cards there. Scandal, betrayal everywhere, and corruption, unfortunately. Let's see, where's question number 4? Ah, here we are. All right, so, oh, we got another Supreme Court question here. Oh, someone's saying that they grew up like that, as in like Carter. Wow. So Thomas Sellers has said there have been some psychics and mediums that have come out in the past 2 days and said that Trump has something to do with the fires. Well, I think we got a question in there. They have been in drought, folks. We got to remember, like Los Angeles has been in drought. Apparently, it's not rained for 4 or 5 months. So, again, as you know, on this channel, I'm cautious to. Look, people say a lot of things, yeah, and it doesn't necessarily mean it comes true. Yeah, that's all I would say. Yeah, on that one. As you can see, Duck L'Orange has been extremely unhelpful, and but you know these fires are happening for a reason, because they're in extreme drought. Yeah, you never know. I mean, there could have been a little bit of sabotage. You never know. But these winds have been blowing for a long time. Some of the gusts have been almost 100 miles an hour. You can't manufacture that. Yeah, I think it's just really it's global warming, and it can just be a stray spark. Anything can set off. Even a piece of glass left can magnify the rays of the sun, ignite a bit of grass, which is like tinder, and then boom, there you go. And then the wind. Remember the winds. All right, okay, so Denise Ferguson, another question here. So Supreme Court Justice Alito has confirmed Donald Trump called him 2 days before Trump's attorneys filed an emergency stay with the Supreme Court for his hush money sentencing by Judge Merchan. Will Trump be sentenced tomorrow as scheduled? So from what I understand is that Duck L'Orange is to be sentenced tomorrow, yes, the 10th of January, for the Stormy Daniels thing, but he's not going to be given a court. He's not going to spend time behind bars, which you guys know I've been saying for the longest time. I've never seen that. happening, unfortunately. He should have been dismissed. He shouldn't even been allowed to run. It's just ridiculous. We all know this. I think, you know, the justice system in many ways has failed. Not to be, you know, too bad to you guys in the States, but I know many of you feel that way. And what other word can be said? You know, the Constitution is actually very clear. It says anyone that is either convicted or has given aid and comfort to after taking the oath of office has given aid or comfort to insurrectionists should not be allowed to run. I mean, it really is quite clear, isn't it? Such is the corruption. Let's see. Will Trump be sentenced tomorrow as scheduled? I think he will, but let's see what the cards have to say about that energy, particularly with the justices. I think that's probably more pertinent, isn't it? Let's see what the cards have to say about that. I think he will be sentenced tomorrow because that's what, unless there's some emergency stay of action, but I think that would have to come from the Supreme Court. Let's see. And that would make it official as Duck Larange being a convicted felon, first in presidency. Not that it matters, because obviously the GOP don't give a shit. So, you know, they supported him anyway. These cards are quite interesting. Okay, what do we have? We got the Temperance card, yeah? So someone here trying to strike a balance, yeah? You see there's 1 foot in the water, 1 foot is on land. The liquid is going up and down between the cups. The sun is rising between the mountains in the background. So in general, this is actually quite a hopeful card. So even though that this sentence, assuming it's handed down tomorrow, doesn't have any jail time or anything like that, I think it is an attempt, although a meager one, to try and redress the balance and try and give at least the fig leaf of accountability, yeah, to Duck Larange, yeah, or not to Duck Larange, but to justice itself. But in regards to what? Look at the obstacle card. 5 of Swords, which we know we interpret as the abuse of power. Yeah, the abuse of power. This is really what this is about. So it's almost trying to, in a sense, gently do some kind of rebalancing in regards to Duck Larange's abuse of power. Yeah. If we look here, we get the Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So there's some money here. Now, look, this judge isn't going to be bribed, but could this be Duck Larange throwing around a bit of cash, maybe to some Supreme Justice or something like that, to maybe even get this sentencing quashed? We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see, because there's been so many things that should have happened to him that were just swept away at the 11th hour. Do you remember when he had to pay that big fine and the other court swooped in to help him out? So we'll see here. So I think Duck Larange has certainly got a few spare coins that he's, chucking around. If we see here, we then get this card, the 6 of Pentacles, which is about moving to smoother waters. So what I would say is, look, assuming he is sentenced tomorrow, look, I think Duck Larange is going to move on, and I think everyone else is, to be honest, because if they had an issue with him, he wouldn't have been sworn in as president. Yeah. I mean, really, he shouldn't even been allowed to run. So I think if he is sentenced, then obviously Duck Larange is going to minimize it, or he will just talk more about the fires in Los Angeles and hype and whip that up, or find some other distraction. Yeah, but either way, it looks like he's moving on. And then here we get the 8 of Wands, which of course is about speed. This can also talk about emails, communications, but it also talks about business as well. So I think if he is sentenced tomorrow, which is obviously said to be happening tomorrow, so unless there's an intervention, it will happen. But I think he's going to use it to raise funds. Yeah, I think he's going to use it to fundraise. because he's still not technically president. So I think he might even be able to still do that. Either way, he's going to spin it. Yeah, he's going to spin it. Whatever happens, it's going to be spun. Yeah, but thanks for your question. Thanks for your question. Let's see what's next. How long have we got left? All right, I've got about 10 minutes left. So we talked about that. Let's go to question number 5. So we got a Los Angeles fire one. Well, I want to get that one in. So here we are with, I think this is Nick Minks, yeah. With Dark Vader's, so Trump's imperial rants of invasion. Oh my God. Will this see more countries choosing to distance themselves from the empire, or the USA empire, and do the cards show if this will be beneficial to them? I mean, on the level of ridiculousness and outrage, I think Duck Larange has outdone himself recently. I mean, seeing him standing there talking about, oh, Greenland, yes, we need Greenland more than the Danish. Oh, will I use military force? Maybe, but you know, I'd rather use economic force. Want to take back the Panama Canal, which is in Panama, another country. Greenland, another country, one of the biggest islands in the world. They want the resources. He wants the resources. Sends his son out there dishing out MAGA caps. Oh my gosh. You know, and Denmark, you know, they have an agreement, but technically it's sort of like under the auspices of Denmark, essentially, Greenland. So imagine if Duck Larange would be effectively attacking a NATO country. I mean, it's just beyond. Let's see what those cards were that jumped out. Spirit had something to say there. Ooh. I don't know if that's the, wow. They actually came out upside down, I think. All right, let me just, all right. Other countries, Duck Larange's imperial rants. It's just like, wow. It's almost unbelievable, isn't it? I think he's even more rabid this time than the last time. Last time, of course, it was new. He didn't know anyone, yeah? And he wasn't able to corrupt quite as many people. This time, oh my God, let's just see how a country is responding to Duck Larange's imperialistic threats. And did you see the president of Mexico? She gave a really good speech. She said, listen, look, do you see? Mexico used to own the majority of America. One of my clients today said that 46% of the landmass of America in the 1600s was actually Mexico. It was actually Mexico. It was changed later on, wasn't it? So, oh my gosh. You will not believe the card that's come back. Wow. All right. These are the two cards that fell out. Yeah. Ace of Swords reversed. Ace of Cups reversed. These are normally two very positive cards, but here, when this is known as what? The Sword of Truth, cutting through the bullshit and stuff like that. And we're talking about Duck Larange here, and it's turned up inverted. Which means if it's truthful that way, then this way, of course, is lies. Quite simply, yeah, lying. Here, this cup, the Ace of Cups, when it's the right way up, can talk about a joyful, you know, joyful new beginnings, emotions. You know, you're feeling great, yeah. Reversed, we can take the simple interpretation here, which is not good, yeah. This can be upset, misery, just feeling forlorn, yeah? So I think that is very appropriate for the statements, isn't it, that Duck Larange just made. You saw the cards just fell out. How are other countries responding? They're making plans. Look at this. The Eight of Pentacles is back. This is the card of what? Hard work, studiousness, being diligent. So what this tells me is that countries around the world are making their contingency plans, because if you've got some dotard, yeah, standing up on the global stage saying, I'm going to take Greenland and I'm going to name the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, you know, just because, and this and this and this and that and that and that. You know, quietly, people just like, you know what, I think we need to work on our own stuff here, yeah? So you can see here, diligence, yeah? This also can mean new alliances as well, particularly as well, because he's also been talking about the tariffs. So this is not looking good. If we look here, look, we actually get the card of celebration here. Now, technically, it's the obstacle position, but like I said, if the first card is positive, then it's reinforcing. So it's looking like to me that other countries are looking to, yeah, collaborate. They may even feel even quite happy at the new alliances that they've made. Yeah, again, I can only read the cards that come. If we look here, look in the middle, the abuse of power. Yeah, Duck L'Orange and all of this stuff that he's talking about, and all the tariffs and all of this stuff. Look, if we look here, what effect will the tariffs has? Impoverishment. You know, feeling out in the cold, being excluded. So of course the tariffs are going to make other countries feel less inclined to send their stuff, because they're going to be feeling penalized. But this will also affect the electorate as well. This is what's tragic about all of this, is that those that voted for Duck L'Orange for whatever reasons, in the hopes that he would improve their lives and make them better, bring costs down, that's really not what's going to happen. He's going to make things worse, because it's about the billionaires, isn't it? He's made it clear. Oh, so sad. Oh, man. Oh, anyway, but if we look here, though, however, in terms of, look, we're going to be hearing some quite powerful statements from international countries about what's going on. This is the orator. Remember, pages are all about sharing information, messaging. Yeah. So I think this is the pushback to Duck L'Orange's rhetoric. And I think if I turn it the other way around, like we've seen with the president of Mexico standing up and just saying, you know, what is this, basically mocking it, really. Other countries are going to start speaking up, and they may say, you know what, if you act like this, we're not going to trade with you. And then you're going to be the poor one, yeah, because of these abuses of power, this aggression, yeah. And they're saying it's almost like, well, we'll celebrate, yeah, we'll celebrate once we do our own economic trade and build our own wealth. This is very, very dangerous rhetoric. This could cause serious financial harm to the United States, and it has to stop. It is a major turnoff, and Elon's comments have not gone down well in the UK, by the way. I cannot repeat to you here what British people say about Elon when they're interviewed live on camera. I was watching something which is called Joe's Politics or something like that, and there was a lot of swear words and expletives and people just calling him out for what he is. He's not fooling us, that's for sure, not fooling us. Right, let's squeeze one more question in. So another one here, now this is about Los Angeles. So Nick Mink says, holla hoagie from very frosty north. With the fires currently destroying Los Angeles and orange one saying it's Newsom's fault, were any fires started deliberately by MAGA supporters? Always the possibility, especially as California is refusing to kneel. Well, you heard my perspective on that earlier. They've been in drought, and it could have been anything that started it. But let's see if the cards pick up on anything. My instinct is just that it's just very unfortunate. They've been in drought for a long time, and I feel it's kind of symbolic as well, with the passing of Jimmy Carter, his funeral, the end of an era, something else coming in. The Great Awakening happening on and around the 29th of March 2025, building up the energies. Saturn in Capricorn. This is I'm feeling it's even more to do with an energy, with an energy. But let's see what the cards say. Any magas? Remember, the magas are quite thin on the ground in California, but let's just see. I mean, obviously there's some. But would they burn down their own village? I'm not sure about that. Let's just see what the cards have to say. If we see cards of mischief, there might be something to it. Or we might just see the Tower, in which case it means it was an act of beyond, like an act of nature. Oh. Bloody hell. First card out. Look, Seven of Swords. Oh, God, could there be some skullduggery? Wow. This is the card of what? Trying to get away with something. Yeah, weakening the camp, etc. He's taken some of the swords, but not all of them. Some of them are left behind, but it weakens the camp. Wow. If we look here, turning up in the obstacle position is the card of Harvest. Yeah, I call this return, ROI, return on your investment. Yeah, this is the farmer looking at the crops, but you know, this is to do with vegetation, stuff like that. Was someone pondering, look at all this dry vegetation here. I wonder. However, if we look here, we do have the Queen of Swords in the middle, which is talking about sane and rational judgment. But remember as well, I also associate this card with accountancy. Yeah, accounting, finances, legal services, insurance. Insurance. This is investment. Yeah, you pay money into an investment. Bloody hell. I don't want to go too far on that, but you know, anyway, carrying on. 10 of Cups. Yeah, 10 of Cups, which is about the, you know, the family, celebration, happiness, and all that stuff. It's obviously it's not a happy moment at all, but remember, this card often comes up for the GOP. And then here we have the Page of Swords. So again, this is talking about messaging. This is talking about journalism. Can talk about journalism as well. This is also talking about news, social media. So if there is anything untoward that has happened, we will hear about it quite soon. But because it is ongoing, it's too early to tell. But what I would say is, for me, it's to do with the dryness. I'm still sticking with the idea that it was due to the drought and maybe a stray spark. There could have been an element of neglect. Maybe it wasn't deliberate. Maybe someone was sneaking around, maybe having a barbecue or something. Could have been something like that. But we'll have to see if there's some what evidence potentially comes out before I can fully endorse that. Yeah, but looks like there might be something there. Okay, I will leave it there. Let me just see. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Please, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to support this channel. If you've not done so yet, of course, I have HOGARTH'S Financial Astrology, so please check that out. That would be great. And if you could subscribe to that as well, if it tickles your fancy, that would be much appreciated. The next one is about blockchain. Yeah, the video that I've got up is explaining what blockchain is. Oh, look, someone's saying Old Silver here, saying I despise crypto. Yeah, look, many do. Look, I can understand why many do, but guess what? It is happening. It is here. From 2025 onwards, you're going to see everyone's going to be talking about crypto, XRP, Bitcoin, yada yada. BRICS, don't forget BRICS. Yeah, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They are probably going to be launching their own coin this year as well. You already have the digital dollar as well. Then you'll have the digital pound, the digital euro. So irrespective of the politics, everything is going the digital way. But I can understand, your reticence, on that. But these things happen, isn't it? Oh, and here, let's just see. Rebecca said, I thought it was brilliant that Obama, the Yeti's nemesis, sat next to him, graciously interacting with him while the others didn't shake his hand or acknowledge him. Beautiful. Well, Obama's a class act at the end of the day, and he's not into pettiness and, or anything like that. I can understand why people wouldn't want to shake Duck Larange's hand as well. But Obama, he's very charming. He's very gracious. And as much as Duck Larange tries to, besmirch and all of that kind of stuff, we need to remember Duck Larange was also a Democrat at some point. I mean, Obama doesn't have to be nice to him. I would say if out of all of the presidents, he's probably got least reason to be nice to Duck Larange. But I think he just saw that the occasion was bigger than the both of them. And of course, was just did the right thing. Yeah. Lisa says Earth is not for sissies. Yes, this is true. Oh, that's the one. Pacific Palisade. Yeah, well, apparently where a lot of actors and stuff live. Devastation, flattened. It's just ash, steaming ash. Anyway, look, I will leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. And yes, please keep supporting the channel. Much appreciated. I hope you found that interesting. And I will see you, of course, on Hogely coming up. I think I might call it Hogelish. Yeah, because Sheila is going to be joining us again. And if we put her initials, SH, at the end, that's what we would get. So I think I might call it that going forward. All right, bye-bye for now. Big love, everyone. And see if I can end the show on time. If the button's going to work. Is the button going to work? Let's see. Did it do it? Yes.